When you hear the word LGBTQ, what comes to your mind? Love, rights, sin, confusion? Some call it a human rights issue, others call it a moral crisis. But one thing is clear, it's no longer a topic we can avoid. LGBTQ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer. A spectrum of gender identities and sexual orientations that shape how people experience love, identity, and belonging. In recent years, LGBTQ issues have taken the global stage, from legalizing same-sex marriage in the West to fierce protests in Muslim countries. In Malaysia, pride events have been shut down, rainbow merchandise banned, and debates over celebrities' opinions have gone viral overnight. But behind the headlines are real people, sometimes your classmates, friends, or even yourself, silently struggling with questions of identity and faith. So how do we, as students in an Islamic university, approach this? To explore this question, we conducted a campus-wide survey among IIUM students. We asked, are you aware of the term LGBT? Where did you first hear about it? School, social media, or religious education? Do you feel comfortable discussing LGBT topics in class or among peers? Should it be addressed through Islamic talks, counseling, peer mentoring, or strict rules? What challenges do you think IIUM faces in dealing with these topics? Lack of awareness, sensitivity, media influence, or limited support resources? Through these questions, we wanted to understand how students experience and think about LGBTQ issues within this Islamic academic context. Here's what we discovered.
Our study investigates IIUM students' perspectives on LGBTQ-related issues. We aim to understand how such topics are viewed within an Islamic academic environment where religious values strongly influence student outlooks. By exploring this, we also examine the intersection between faith, culture, and social discourse, highlighting how students navigate modern societal challenges while staying rooted in Islamic principles. Our study has three main objectives. First, we aim to explore the general opinions of IIUM students on LGBTQ-related issues, as I've mentioned previously. Second, we examine how external influences, such as media, peers, and upbringing, may shape their views. Lastly, we seek to gather students' reactions on educational activities or approaches that are appropriate to address LGBTQ topics within a university setting, particularly one grounded in Islamic values.
LGBTQ issues are being discussed more frequently around the world, including in Malaysia. However, in our country, where Islam is the official religion and traditional values are highly respected, this topic remains highly sensitive. At the same time, IIUM students are exposed to global perspectives through social media, peer interaction, and academic engagement. Being in a critical stage of personal development, their views are influenced by both faith-based learning and also a multicultural experience. Despite the growing relevance of LGBTQ discourse, there is a very limited research on how Muslim students, particularly those in Islamic universities, understand or respond to this issue. This project aims to fill the gap by offering a respectful platform for students to express their thoughts. We will organize an online talk session with a certified speakers to encourage informed, balanced, and value-based discussion.
Thank you, sister, for the wonderful presentation. So now I will be taking over for the findings. And as you can see all around me are the findings from our survey that we've done in UIA for UIA students. And as you can see here, you can see all the kulia they're from and the gender. Majority of our respondents were the male gender, and the kulia mainly was from Qaid. So as you can see here, it's all from Mahalla, very various Mahalla. So it shows that our survey was very diverse. It was not biased, and we got a lot of perspectives from a lot of different people. Most of our respondents were, as you can see from here, are between the ages of 18 and 21. And so we actually learn about all these graphs here, as you can see, is that actually UIA students have a deep and actually a critical understanding. They're not unaware, or they're not used to the idea of LGBTQ plus community being out there in the world, especially in today's modern Asian world, where the concept of freedom and fluidity and whatnot has been very, very misunderstood, and the Western have actually changed it to become something very liberal and just going against many principles as we know today. So, as you can see among IIM students here, is that many of them also believe that UIA should incorporate these issues into the academic studies, and it should be talked more often. As you can see from the surveys that we've done here, we actually did a study to see actually how much they agree, how much they disagree. And to be honest, from our findings, we can clearly see that actually UIA students want to help the LGBTQ plus community, because there may be our brothers and sisters that are inside who are facing this issue and they don't know what to do, and they seek help because they're starting to wonder, because we are a lot of young people are taken victim to this, and they need a place and someone to come to. So that's why a majority of the students have come forward, and they said that they feel strongly that they should get help, but it is about how we want to help them, in the ways we want to help them, and when we should help them that matter the most.
Throughout this study, we've taken a closer look at how IIUM students perceive LGBTQ issues, through the lens of Islamic ethics and modern social realities. We explored data, listened to diverse viewpoints, and uncovered themes of concern, awareness, and a strong desire for respectful dialogue. This conversation isn't just about identity politics or social trends, it's deeply tied to belief systems, and the duty to uphold Islamic values with wisdom and compassion. So what does this all mean for us, as students, educators, and members of a faith-based institution? The answer begins with understanding. This is our conclusion, a reflection of key insights and the path forward in navigating complex issues while staying rooted in our values.
So, as we come to the end of our research, let's reflect on what we have truly learned. This study was more than just collecting data. It was about understanding how IU students, as a young Muslim, view and respond to LGBT issue within an Islamic environment. And what we found was quite meaningful. Yes, most students clearly uphold Islamic boundary on sexuality and identity than expected in a faith-based university. But at the same time, there's a strong desire for this topic to be discussed, not avoided. Many students want a more compassionate and educational approach rather than judgment or silence. They believe this issue should be addressed through awareness, through dialogue, through proper Islamic guidance, not to normalize what goes against our faith, but to ensure we respond with wisdom, with hikmah, and with rahmah. Our findings also show that there's still a gap between Islamic theory and practical reality. Students see this need for structured effort like value-based education, counseling, and involvement of religious scholars to help bridge the gap. So in conclusion, this study proved that Islam doesn't fear difficult conversation. In fact, it teaches us to face them with dignity, with passion, and with responsibility. IIM students have shown that we can uphold our faith but and be empathetic and be informed all at the same time. So thank you for listening.